It's much better to have your food stored in the garden than in the fridge. Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome to our community garden where we grow approximately 490 kilos of fresh produce for the community each year. Come along, let me show you how we do it. Before we look at our garden, let's talk about Victory Gardens. So Victory Gardens are gardens that were put together after the Second World War with the help of the government and basically have formed the basis of many community gardens. Hey Marta, can you tell us what a Victory Garden is?
It was part of the war effort, and the government in Britain asked people to grow vegetables on any kind of common or unused land, and they grew them through places where stuff had never been grown, schools and parks, and in the end they produced 40% of the vegetables that got eaten during the second part of the Second World War, because everyone thought it was their way of fighting the Nazis. It would be great if everyone thought, that climate change was as serious as the Nazis.
Yeah. This bunch looks really great. I think it's got a good mix of different herbs that people will use, and we really have tried to keep it looking like a commercial bunch of herbs so that people who are getting food relief from food packages can experience food dignity, where they know that they're getting food that has been cared for and that is nutritious. This is our crop plan for Oakhill Farm. It's our take on the planning that would have been used for Victory Garden. So we've got an actual plan of the site with the beds all numbered. Then we've got a calendar month across the top here and the numbers of the beds going down, and then what's growing in each bed each month. So the crop plan is really good because it's a visual way to show what's going on in your garden or farm. It can be easily interpreted by people coming in, and they know what to expect in the garden, what's been grown in the past, what's currently growing, and what we plan to grow in the future. So as you can see, we're on a regular suburban house block. The garden beds are made from IBC containers, which are about a cubic metre. They're typically used to store anything from olive oil to chemicals. We've chosen these ones to be food grade, so we know they've only stored olive oil or food grade products. We've cut them in half, and then we've filled the bottom with scoria, a porous rock, to about here. We've put a blanket, a geofabric blanket on top to stop the dirt falling down. And then we've filled the rest with good quality soil. So this has created what's called a wicking bed. We've then got a little irrigation pipe that we fill with water, and it creates like a pond here. So this strengthens our plants because they take the water up from their roots. And this is a really efficient system. It's efficient with water and also making sure our produce is really strong and healthy. So we're going to harvest the Selenova cut and come again lettuce. So we have to be really careful that we've got the whole plant gathered in our hands, that we don't cut it too low to the soil or it won't re-sprout. So we have about this height. So we'll find here that we'll actually end up with the leaves re-sprouting, hopefully within the next month or so. And even if you were at home, you might only cut off the outer leaves just for your salad. It's much better to have your food stored in the garden and growing in the garden than in the fridge. This bed here has fennel, which is nearly ready to harvest. It's growing really well, but we did have some patchiness where some of the fennel didn't take. So we've infilled that with lettuce, which grow well with fennel, just to make sure we're utilising this garden bed.
Right, this one is well and truly stuck.
All of this is edible. You take the yellow bits off, but all the tips you can cut up and put in a salad, or you would chop up and put in a pesto, would be really nice. You can make fennel soup. The bulb is just delightful to cook in any way you like. It's tea time, everyone. So we all work together to look after the community gardens here, and we all benefit from sharing produce and sharing time with people in our community. And I think that just adds a slightly different spin to the original Victory Garden concept. That's it for harvesting today. Great job.
Thank you.
Thanks for visiting us, and we hope you visit your local community garden soon.